Hello, dear friends. Welcome to the weekly Middle East Vigil service. The tenser the world gets, the more I try to look at the long-term shifts that are occurring in the Arab world, since this is what we focus on here. Specifically, in the meantime, war with Iran is on the brink of bursting, and the skies over West Asia are closing to civilian flights, and the whole world is on alert. By the way, our skies here in Israel are roaring with military planes. So we will look at the multi-layered moves that are happening in front of our eyes in the Arab states. And the Arab states are changing their attitude towards the West. And that was mostly based on oil revenue. Now they are beginning to build a kind of sense of self. So there are a few things. One is the demographic and social pressures in those countries. The citizens of those countries are now mostly the younger generations. They demand jobs, they demand services, and they demand stability. They're pushing leaders to focus on governance more than grand ideological projects or any pan-Arab project. So this is the pressure, the demographic pressure. There is also the multipolar environment that creates space for balancing. Arab governments still cooperate with Western powers, but they are more willing to say no, to look eastward, and to look for better terms in many things, like trade, for instance, and even for migration. We can see the slow motion, new configuration happening in countries like Saudi Arabia, the Gulf countries, the Emirates, and also you can see it in a way in Egypt and Jordan. We see it less in Syria, Lebanon, and Yemen, where ideology still dominates and chaos blocks pragmatism. We'll add two countries, non-Arab and very prevalent in the area, Turkey. And Turkey is, interestingly, is less emancipated from ideology than the Arab countries, like the Gulf countries, for instance, even though Turkey deals with everyone, deals with NATO, Russia, Iran, Ukraine, Hamas, Israel, the Gulf. It switches lanes fast when interests demand it. And then the other country is Iran, which is not an Arab country either, that totalizes ideology and is faced towards the East. Yeah, so I won't go further because one can talk a lot about those changes, subliminal changes that are really not so subliminal. We can see them happening. And as usual, everything in a nutshell. Thank you. Over to you, Ifat.
Thank you, Helen. Good evening, dear friends. Helen just brought a very wide picture of the area, and I would like to share with you tonight a very local and very special moment here in Israel today. In recent week, I have brought to a point of deep disagreement, great difficulties. Today, as the last fallen hostages has been returned, for a rare moment, there is a sense of gratitude and unity, as if all the people are breathing one deep breath together. And it is an uplifting feeling. Thank you.
Hello, friends. Thank you. So let us get into our work, our contribution to this process going on in the Middle East. So let us settle into our body, breathing, coming into our inner silence. Touching base with our heart between the shoulder blades. And letting it be purified in harmlessness, to be fit to hold complex situations. Let our mental forces collect into the center of the head. And from here, let our perspective become inclusive, planetary, global. Standing as the soul in incarnation, in the will to love. Coming together now, reaching out to each other across distance, heart to heart, mind to mind, soul to soul. And we are part of the Ajna center of the planet, in vibrational resonance with all soul-guided servers around the world. Standing calm as on a pinnacle at the midway point between humanity and hierarchy. Standing stable, and from here, let us turn our eyes towards struggling humanity. Just for a moment, observing the forces in motion, the turmoil and pressure on the threshold between two ages. Turmoil and pressure everywhere. And now in this context, let us focus in on the region of West Asia, getting a sense of the many powerful forces that meet here. in this Middle East vortex. See if we can perhaps recognize this slow motion towards new configurations happening in some Arab countries. This move towards more regional autonomy and diversification of international relationships. Constantly shifting and changing. Let's get a sense of Palestine within this context. And of Israel. And of Iran. And let us remember that West Asia is a playground for what's happening in humanity at large, for these ancient karmic solar plexus issues of humanity as a whole. The question of identity and belief, how to manage conflict of interests, and the struggle for dignity and sovereignty. Holding this picture, let us refocus on the pinnacle. And from here, draw a line of light upwards towards hierarchy, the planetary heart center. Sense this line of light. And continuing the line towards Shambhala, the planetary head center. And visualize a stream of love and will pour into the planetary Ajna center, the new group of world servers. And here become light, soul light. And as part of this soul light, in this light, let us visualize the process of transmutation taking place in West Asia, visualizing the transformation of conflict into a field of creative tension. A possible process for this zone of complex turmoil to transform into a field of creative tension. Let's hold this possibility field of creative tension as we invoke the Lords of Liberation to help us get rid of all that stands in the way and evoke soul light in humanity and forge together a path for the saving force on our planet. Let the Lords of Liberation issue forth. Let them bring succor to humanity. Let the rider from the secret place come forth, and coming save. Come forth, Almighty One. Let the souls of men awaken to the light, and may we stand with massed intent. Let the fiat of the Lord go forth, the end of woe has come. Come forth, Almighty One. The hour of service of the saving force has now arrived. Let it be spread abroad, Almighty One. Let light and love and power and death fulfill the purpose of the coming one. The will to save is here. The love to carry forth the work is widely spread abroad. The active aid of all who know the truth is also here. Come forth, Almighty One, and blend these three. Construct a great defending wall. The rule of evil now must end. See and sense a shaft of pure golden white light, broad and brilliant, flood West Asia. See a huge column of light pouring through all planes. Hold this column steady in the will to peace. See soul light flooding the mental plane of the Middle East. See soul light pouring into the astral plane of the Middle East. See soul light pouring into the etheric physical plane of the Middle East. Penetrating into the earth. Joining with the Devic forces. Transmuting the ancient records of evil sharing. Dissolving and purifying them into the recognition that every human life is sacred. Let us take 2 minutes to see this work proceeding. Transforming conflict into a field of creative tension. Visualize the saving force spreading in West Asia, actively in each nation, each ethnic group, and each religious group. Visualize the principle of the highest good of all gradually and steadily taking root, lifting humanity from solar plexus dynamics into the heart. Let us affirm this as we sound the great invocation in Hebrew and in Arabic.
מנקודת האור אשר בדעת אל, זרום האור אל דעת האדם. ירד האור על פני האדמה. מנקודת האהבה אשר בלב האל, תזרום האהבה בלבבות אנוש. ישוב מורה עולם על פני האדמה. מהמרכז שבו נודע רצון האל, תנחה תכלית את רצונות אדם. תכלית אותם מורי האנושות יודעים ומשרתים. מהמרכז אשר נקרא המין האנושי, שם תוכנית האהבה והאור, ויחתם הפתח אל הרע. יהי רצון, ויחדשו אור אהבה ועוצמה, בתוכנית על פני האדמה. אמן.
من نقطة النور في العقل الإلهي ليشعل نور في عقول الناس وليهبط النور إلى الأرض. من نقطة الحب في القلب الإلهي ليتسرب الحب إلى قلوب الناس وليرجع معلم الكون إلى الأرض. من المركز الذي تعرف منها إرادة الله لتقود الغاية إرادة الناس البسيطة، تلك الغاية التي يدركها المعلمون ويخدمونها. من المركز الذي نضم بالجنس البشري لينتج تسمين الحب والنور ويختم على الباب الذي يقيم به الشر، ليجدد النور والحب والقوة التسمين على الأرض. الله أمين.